Hey, welcome back to another edition of Everything Football 62. I'm your host, Jonathan Big Tex Johnson, a.k.a. Uncle Tex, a.k.a. Professor Tex, a.k.a. Tell him. Before we get started, subscribe to the page. Share with a friend. Got any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below. Let's keep it respectful and whatnot. We can go do some back and forth. Let's keep it respectful. Like I tell you guys, it's only a game. Been a while since I posted. Purposely done like you guys pretty much who've been kicking it with me for a while. No, I just talk about football. I'm really worried about all the other outside bullshit and stuff like that. I'm not really into that type of shit. I didn't come up on that. I came up on just football, and that was pretty much what it was. Didn't care about the outside noise. I told y'all what the Seahawks was going to do. They did that. Wasn't really no need to gloat and talk shit about that. That was pretty much what that was. But here we getting ready to do this right here. You see right now, I have one of the baddest defensive players that ever played the game on the screen now. And for the guys that's around my age, probably years younger, but definitely my age, pushing 60 and a little bit below and whatnot, you guys are going to pretty much remember this. Let's check this out. Take a trip down memory lane. Fair use, y'all. Fair use.
I'm holding Bruce Smith's shoe, man. Do you know what Bruce does in these shoes, man? Bad things, man. I mean bad things. Things that I just can't possibly talk about. You know what Bruce would do if he found me messing with this shoe, man? Bad things, man.
Classic commercial. Classic commercial. I play that based upon... I play that because of reminiscing. Smith got me by a couple of so years. Big fan of his. Big fan of his. When he come out of Vitek, big fan. I'm playing that commercial and doing this show basically based upon, I said, I think I have to start doing shows like this nowadays because I've seen different things on Twitter and different things of that nature over the past couple of so months, especially back during football season and Myles Garrett doing the things that he did. Mind you, I'm not new to Myles Garrett. Been following Myles Garrett since he was in high school. Following A&M days and, of course, now with the Cleveland Browns. And I have seen this thing and then I've seen this other thing, and I'll talk about that particular person, about the top 1970s quarterback, and a particular quarterback that wasn't even mentioned, but he went to 3 Super Bowls and won 2. And in the 70s, I'll come back to that later, okay? I'm saying all that to say is that when we start now, for whatever reason, I don't know where it's coming from. When we start talking about some of the greatest defensive ends and greatest defensive players that ever played this game, for some strange reason, I think I actually did a show on this, for some strange reason, when we start talking about Mount Rushmore of defensive ends, or what they want to call them now, edge rushers, whatever the fuck that is, and whatnot, this man's name does not come up. How does the all-time sack leader name, 200 sacks, doesn't come up? Now, he wasn't like someone like, let's say, and there's no disrespect to this fella here, right? Paul Cross, who has like 81 interceptions, played damn near 20 years, I think was maybe a 2-time All-Pro in that time span, made a bunch of Pro Bowls and stuff like that, but never really was considered a great safety like that. Kind of a ball hawk. I didn't think he really came up and tattooed anybody, but he was always in the right place at the right time. And in the Hall of Fame, rightfully so, and everything like that, no diss against him. But this is something different with that of Bruce Smith. And they don't talk about him. Let's do this right here. Let's go to my favorite thing, Pro Football Reference. Bruce Smith was not only as a Hall of Famer, 2009 if I'm not mistaken, 11-time Pro Bowler, 8-time All-Pro first team, I think 1 or 2 times second team, which makes him about 10 or 11-time All-Pro. 80s All-Decade team, 90s All-Decade team, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, Pro Football Writers Association Defensive Player of the Year, 4-time UPI Defensive Player of the Year. Went to 4 straight Super Bowls, 4 straight AFC Championship games. Played in years. I think he played in like 20 playoff games. And I'll go back to this right here real quick. All of this. Look at this. Look at this right here. I'll go back a little bit here. Look at this. Right here. From 87 at age 24 to at least age 35. So you look at my 10, 11 year span where he was the most dominant, one of the best defensive ends, defensive players to play in the game. Now, things trail off. 7 sacks the next year at 36, 10 at 37, 5 at 38, 9 at 39, and 540. By that time, okay, I got it. Because normally around this time is when these guys normally start trailing off, even on the other side of the ball. Not this guy. Again, 8-time, and he was all-pro first team at age 34. Some guys are out the fucking game by that time playing that particular position, or any position for that matter. I'm afraid of not playing well. If I'm not at the top of my game each week, I will get my ass kicked by someone who's trying to make a name for themselves, and I won't let that happen. It's Bruce Smith. And now, I think once before, if I'm not mistaken, I gave you my Mount Rushmore of defensive ends for the first 100 some odd years in the league. I said Gino Marchetti, who brought it all in there. Deacon Jones, we all know this contribution. First 50 years of the game, both of them guys. Minister of Defense, Reggie White, and Bruce Smith. Go to that of Reggie White, 13-time Pro Bowl, 8-time All-Pro, Super Bowl champ, 80s, 90s, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. Basically similar. The only difference is that White won the Super Bowl. Played 15 years. Didn't play in 99, came out of retirement, played a year or whatever like that, 5.5 sacks. Look at this. From 85, I'm going to go jump to just 86. From 86 to 98. I mean, Bruce, similar. What are we talking about when we start trying to put up Myles Garrett above these guys here? Now, they'll mention Reggie White, Minister of Defense, and then he pretty much died early and stuff like that and everything like that or whatever, and the catchy name. And Bruce Smith seemed like he's not even mentioned in this. How is that even fucking possible? How do you guys fix your mouth to do this? Now, you got a bunch of these Johnny-come-lately guys, and the guys is my age, going on, 58 years old, and whatnot. How do you sit out? And these guys younger, they'll sit up because of the social media shit. Guys are like 10, 15, 20 years younger who don't know no better. When we didn't have that, all we had was Street Smith, Sports, ESPN. We had Sports Illustrated and whatnot, and all those other sports, all those other magazines that we had to go by. And those guys was at top of their game, man. Bruce Smith, it's like people don't even mention Bruce Smith. They'll start talking about Myles Garrett. What has he won? What has he done in the fucking playoffs? He is, and I will say this, and you heard it here first. Oh, he's going to be the Joe Thomas of that team on the defensive side of the ball. Ironically, playing opposite positions. One was, Thomas was a left tackle. Old boy's a left defensive end. Edge rusher, whatever the fuck they call him. Great physical specimen. Again, I've been following that kid since he was in high school. Started following back in 2011, 2012. And those A&M days. Now, and that's no shade on him. He's going to be a future Hall of Fame and all that good stuff. I'm not putting him above these guys here. And I'm not putting him above this guy right here. It's not happening. All-time sack leader, and he's dissed like that? You're talking about defensive end used to get 100 tackles on a regular at that DN position. Right? And it's like jokers don't even want to talk about this guy. At least twice He had over. Come on, man. Smith, like 6'4", about 265, about 270. Came out overweight and all that stuff out of Vitek. He was dominating the Vitek. For those who remember, he came out the same draft as Jerry Rice did. 85. And nobody talks about him as if he didn't exist. But they'll bring up Myles Garrett. Before that, they talk about Max Crosby. They talk about all of these other fucking guys. I'm like, you got to be fucking joking, man. On Bruce Smith? Bad things? Man, come on, man. Y'all, that just shows me motherfuckers don't know football, man. Motherfuckers do not know football. If this guy's not in your top player as a defensive end, as a defensive player in the game, period, in the 106, 107 years of this game, man, y'all lost y'all motherfucking mind, man. Y'all lost y'all mind. Ain't no way. You can't talk about the Bills, period, without talking about this man there. Had 1 year when he basically missed a season. He had a bad injury. And whatnot. Let me see. That was in when he was 28. He missed like 11 games. He missed 11 games, had an injury, missed 11 games and whatnot. Look at the amount of games. This man played out of 279 games. He started 267 games. The durability, and nobody talks about him like he didn't even exist. They'll still talk about Jim Kelly. You hear rumbles about Thurman Thomas. You hear things about Andre Reed. But he is there only from that team, and they had some good players. Biscuit, Cornelius Bennett, Darryl Talley, Leonard Smith, a couple other guys Odom, a few guys I might miss. But he is their only Hall of Famer on that side of the ball. Shane Conley for a couple of years. Nobody talks about Bruce Smith at all. It's like this guy didn't even exist until you look at his fucking stats and his fucking resume. Y'all better go back and do your fucking homework. Like the great Too Short said. You best go do your homework. Do your homework, man. One of the baddest men that ever played this game. Who worked himself, who went through some shit, weight problems, had the drug issues. This is when they started checking down drugs. Him and LT, they got popped and whatnot. Look at that. Come out there, man, started wearing the Spider-Man joint. The tights, the one set, and all that. And look at that. At waist and everything like that. Chiseled. Worked his way to that. Now, Gary's been chiseled since 14. This man, come on, man. I'm like, and y'all don't talk about Bruce Smith? Shame on all you so-called football historians of football, supposedly enthusiasts. Shame. Shame. But I'm just seriously saying, folks, it's like, are you kidding me? One of the baddest people, one of the baddest top 10 people that play on the defensive side of the ball, regardless of position. He's on my all-time team. I've already named you my all-time team. I'll name him again for the fuck of it. And at 3-4. I got Joe Green at nose. For the first 100-some-odd years in the game. My defensive ends is Reggie White and Bruce Smith. Bar none. Bar none. Inside linebackers. Junior, Sayal, Ray Lewis. Outside linebackers. Lawrence Taylor, Bobby Bell. Corners. Dan Woodson, Deion Primetime Sanders, safeties, Ronnie Lott, and the great Ed Reed. Boy, I put that against anybody out there in 100 years to come. Bruce Smith was that fucking guy, y'all. Y'all better go back and check it out. Y'all better go back and check that shit out, man. Better go back and check it out. Now, what kind of did this for me was being on X or Twitter, whatever the hell it's called. I seen this. It's AI generated shit that they be having, which is fucking ridiculous. You have the top 5 NFL quarterbacks of the 70s. I think I've done a show on this or talked about this in this thing. Bradshaw, Staubach, Stabler, Target, and Anderson. Cute list. Not too bad. not too far off. You mean to tell me Ken Anderson is on that list and Bob Greasy isn't? Bob Greasy's not on this list? I responded, no Greasy? Then it isn't the list. I seen Tarkenton, who never won, neither did Anderson. We can shit on him because Shula had them run the ball with Zonka, Kick, and Morris. Man went to 3 straight Super Bowls. 1, 2. 2-time first team All-Pro and an 8-time Pro Bowler. And he ain't on the list? He won Super Bowls. He won a Super Bowl. Neither one of these guys won. Talking to give it to him, talking to played a long time, and his last few years, he put up some nice numbers from 75 to about 77. He put up some hell of a numbers. He finished out strong the same way what Anderson should have did. If Anderson wins, we're not having this conversation. Anderson's one of the better quarterbacks of the 70s. There's no doubt about that. But he went on the time when about 4 years that he was horrible and the Bengals was horrible. Carter's Groove in 81, good year in 82, 83, 84, 85, he was done. He was done by age 33. And I put that up there because it's like, how do you discredit this guy because, well, you don't think he did X, Y, and Z? Based upon what? Are we playing this game manager shit? I'm like, doesn't matter. You sit up there, what you end up doing in a lot of cases, or what we end up doing in a lot of cases, and what has to basically be done in most cases, is the fact that these guys sit up here and they run the plays that their coach tells them to run. That's what you basically do. And they ran the football. Warfield, who is probably one of the top wide receivers that ever played the game, and his average of about 20 some odd yards because they only threw the ball a few times, and every time he threw it, it's a 20-yard bomb. You don't discredit him. And he's one of the top wide receivers that ever played the game. If you go into the game and how it's played. Now, Bob Greasy, as I spoke about this earlier, in how many years he played, and was top MVP go-getter a couple of times. Played 14 years, 92 and 56. And you look at his record from the 70s, 10 and 4, 9 and 3, 5 and 0, 12 and 1, 10 and 3, 7 and 3, 5 and 8, 10 and 4, 6 and 3, 7 and 5. With the, like I always do the whole, what's it called? The minimum of 10 starts. And so what ends up happening when we start talking about that, all that is forgotten. All that's forgotten. Right? So I just want to make sure that you guys do not forget the contributions of 2 Hall of Fame players, especially talking about Bruce Smith, and how nobody seems to talk about him when they start talking about pass rushing. It's like nobody says anything about this gentleman and his contribution to the game and what he did. And what he did and his impact on the game as one of the best defensive ends, top 3 or 4 defensive ends in the game. In the game that ever played in the first 100 years of this game. Mount Rushmore. And you don't talk about him and you start talking about who? That kid over there in Cleveland? And everybody, and I got Max Crosby, love the kid's game. They talk about J.J. Watt. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Fame. Love J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt had about 4 or 5 years, man. He didn't do what this guy and this guy did for about a fucking goddamn 15-year stretch, man. That's got to account for something. You cannot just brush that shit off. And no AFC championship games. No NFC championship game when he went to the Cardinals. None of that. He had a 4-year stretch when he was that guy. No, that's no denying that. Love J.J. Watt. Love his brother even more, T.J. Watt. But at the same time, we can't sit up there and act like, nah, that didn't happen. T.J. Watt is an outside linebacker or edge rusher, whatever the fuck they call it. Put some respect on Bruce Smith's name. Put some respect on Bob Grease's name. But definitely for this thing, put some respect on Bruce Smith's name. One of the baddest cats that ever played the game. A physical specimen. Worked his way after basically being shitted on and almost fucking up his career and everything. And got his shit together. And ended up being one of the best all-time sack leaders. Not just all-time sack leader. One of the best defensive end. One of the best defensive players to ever play the game. One of the best to ever play the game. Y'all go back. You youngsters go back and do your research, man. Go do your research. YouTube got them all on. YouTube got all the clips. Go check them out. And then come back and talk to your boy. Like I tell you guys all the time. There is no GOAT. There's no greatest of all time as long as time is still going on. Like I tell you guys all the time. Numbers don't lie and get emotional. People do. We'll holler at you later.